Yeah, no. Well, it's funny. Go with it. Anyway, Leo, the flaming fixed kitten. So, essentially, this is how it's going to work. You'll be getting one Dark Goddess Oracle card, as well as one Daemon Tarot Oracle card, just like every other sign. And then the deck you're getting is the Tarot Grand Lux. You should be watching this if you are a Leo Ascendant or Leo Lugna, Rising, what have you. But if you just have the knowledge of you just being a Leo Sun, that's fine. You'll be getting a simple cross spread, which is one in the middle, and then the 4 on the top, bottom, left, right. Cross watchers, I don't mind them. Just make sure that, you don't be too investigating at every little nasty thing you can find and flame about. I don't know, I got nothing. So first off will be the Dark Goddess Oracle card to come out. We'll have a nice take a looky McLook to see who pops out. First one we have is Nada for trickery. Well, looks like somebody is being a little sneaky McSneaker. Well, nothing wrong with that. If you got to bamboozle somebody, sometimes that's all what you got to do. So, Inarda as the Dark Goddess for the month of March for the Kingly Kitty, or Queen Kitty. I said kitty, not what you think I said. And your daemon is King Paimon. Which is funny because, Leo and him have the similar desire to be, noticed. Paimon loves to be pampered and, King Paimon? Oh, Lord Lanta, the great king's here. Yeah, he loves being adored like that. So, having Inarda for trickery and then King Paimon, who likes being respected as a king and people appreciating him. So possibly you might actually, the best way I'm going to go with it, is that for some reason people are not really giving you the best respect in the position that you're in right now. Some people are actually going behind your back and tricking you and not really treating you good. They're not giving you the proper acknowledgement. Or even another thing too is that you're probably, tricking and going a little sneaky McSneaky behind a figure that is possibly tyrannical and demanding respect from you when they can't even give it to you themselves. They also might be expecting a little bit too much out of you, and you're kind of being a little bit, nope, not doing it. Kind of a little bit rebellious and defiant. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you gotta be like that. And then the Tarot Grand Lux for you. First card to come out is your current standing overall position, how you feeling, how you standing, how you're sitting, how much you're wearing that crown, and how much you're flaunting the robe. You get the idea. Current standing, we have Temperance. So in this current standing, you actually might be taking something or going through something that's in the current standing, and now you're going to be transforming into something else. Or you might be taking two things that may be completely different and you're trying to synthesize them together to make something new. Or you're going from point A to point B, but somehow you're bringing up point Z in order to get there. You're going from one point to another and you're being able to flow with it. And since it's an angel figure being a little bit, how am I going to put this? This angel's a little bit dainty, kind of like, oh, look at me go. I can, be on Broadway and, spin while singing Red Solo Cup and, doing ballet while doing it. You might actually be very ecstatic about this transition from going A to B, or you're possibly doing a lot of inner emotional work and you're being surprised about how much you've pretty much surpassed in the amount of time you've actually been doing this work. Or you've actually going into a position where you're actually tricking an authority figure so that way your emotional health can actually prosper. or there's somebody in authority that you're trying to make the most out of a situation and you're trying to morph it into something that's a lot more emotionally fulfilling than it being just like all about trickery and having a narcissist be all like, oh, well, I'm the king, I'm the boss, so you have to kiss my hand. No, none of that crap. Earth sector, pretty much your sense of security, your finances, your wealth, health, you know, the Benjamins coming at your head. We have the High Priestess. So regarding finances, you actually might be having the suggestion to possibly have somebody to help you with the taxes. Because, the sign of Leo actually does have something to do with taxes because it's the king and he wants his money from his people because that's how it is. But because since it's the High Priestess also in the position where it's your health, you actually might need to consider doing a lot more time and working on your mental health and finding somebody who you can speak to regarding your mental health and somebody who understands how to listen. Or you might consider taking a profession or like a part of a job that requires you to be more observant and listen more and actually use your intelligence than actually, using your hands and making stuff and moving stuff and picking up stuff, flinging stuff. You get the idea. But because since this is also potentially saying that you have to make sure you understand when not to speak regarding anything regarding work, and also if you don't know anything regarding health, don't speak about it. Unless if you know for sure about it, don't speak anything regarding health this month. But if you want to seek out somebody who's a good advisor in the health sector or work sector or a financial advisor, this is the best time to do it, especially during tax season. And don't be thinking that you can trick the government, because that's not. People think they'll get away with it, but give it time, and then IRS will be like, so I hear you're like getting garnished and held upside down and have all your sense shooken out of you. Regarding communications, interactions with others, schooling, learning a new subject, writing, you get the idea. Interactions with other people, whoop-de-whoop, unhanded. We have the 8 of Twigs, 8 of Wands, so expect, if you're going to be going to study a new subject, expect you to take off with it pretty quick. The material you're going to be learning, you're going to get just like that. It's just like, wow, this just clicked with me. This whole class is just like going so fast and I already know the whole class book. And also you might be getting a lot of flirty, like, notice me kitty actions from people. People actually might be throwing, their sticks at you. Take that however you deem fit. If you like the stick, catch it. If you don't want the stick, well then just move out of the way. But because since this is a card that has a lot of movement and it can be very whimsical, expect people to be speaking towards you in a way that's very playful, lively, and a little bit swift. And just like how fast fire can just go and numb and just torch everything, this can also show potentially, it can be a little bit fiery and feisty at times a little bit, but it'll die down pretty fast. As this is also a card that's also called the Arrows of Cupid. Again, expect somebody that you know, a family member, a friend, or just talking to people in general, they actually might be shooting compliments at you a little bit more than usual for some reason. Regarding obstacle, motivating force, or anything that brings you life and the whatnot. What is on fire? Obstacle, motivating force, we have the 9 of Swords. Okay. Motivating force. The anxiety or anything that's making you be very timid and afraid, it's an illusion. It's pretty much a thought, and a thought can't do anything to you unless if you make it be able to and you allow it to. That thought cannot do anything to you. All it can do is go, ooh, I'm a bad thing that could possibly happen. Ooh. Well, then be logical and practical about it. Like, okay. Is this really going to happen? Most likely, probably not. Because logically, because of this and this and this and this, yeah, this is not going to happen. So that way you'd completely disarm it. As a motivating force. So if I always pull that card, I feel like this is my... Oh, wait. This is for essentially anybody that has like a Leo sun or a Leo rising sign, or pretty much anything that they feel that they need to watch this for. So essentially it's every, like a Leo sun, a Leo rising, a Leo moon. It can be any of that, but I like to keep it open for anybody because it's very difficult to be like, okay, Leo sun, okay, Leo moon, that would take a long time to be like, okay, this is for Leo moons, and yeah, but still, now what were you saying? I always pull, this one, the Nine of Swords, and how it's kind of funny how with this Nine of Swords, she's kind of, the figure is just like, oh God, not the devil. Oh, woe is me. Lord. Joke's on him, I know he's an illusion, so I'm not afraid. So she's kind of just like, if you see the look on her face, she's like, oh Lord, what am I gonna do? It's the devil, but wait, he's a ghost, he's in my mind, he's not real. Oh, what am I gonna do? But she also has that grin on her face like, you think you're slick? Yeah, I know you're fake. So as a motivating force, you actually are taking advantage of this thing that's saying, well, I don't think you can do that. Oh, I can't do that? Here, hold my beer, honey. Actually, here, hold my Chardonnay real quick. I'm going to do it just because you said I can't do it. How about that now, devil? What are you going to say now? Not bad. Yeah, piss it, you stupid spectral. Yes. Because, I mean, the way that I like to interpret, because to me, every deck's different. Every deck speaks a different language, if that makes sense. But this one, usually people see Nine of Swords are like, oh, somebody's sad and depressed, they can't sleep. But really, traditional Nine of Swords, I can see it as somebody giving immense gratitude because they're sobbing so much, like, thank you for saving my life. Like divinity saved their life, like if they came back from dead or they almost got killed and they still are on Earth. But still, that's why I just look at the card for, it is what it is. And that's just really how I go about it. Yeah, but that's really how you look. I look at a card in both the good and the bad way. But now probably the most, that would have been so bad if I said that. Now for the part that's the most wet. Oh, that's just nasty. Regarding emotions, the cheesy stuff, the lovey-dovey, like, oh, love birds and love pigeons going at each other, pecking each other to death. Hey, that's what pigeons do, right? I got nothing. So regarding does he love me? Does he love me not? He loves me not. Not making a bloody flower become petalless. We have the Wheel of Fate. And it's funny, we have 2 Sagittarius cards in this. So like I said, we have 2 Sagittarius cards right there. And specifically with this, where is that? I know it's in there somewhere. Aha, I found it. So right here. Oh, planned. Oh wait, backwards. Planned. But still, what's very interesting. if you see right over here, there's the Sagittarius symbol, and that one's actually going down as the 7th house right there. Because the sun rises from the east, which would be where this little bunny's at, which is odd. And the sign of Leo is right over here. And he's in looks like that's the 12th house. So, if there's something regarding bed pleasures, I have to say it, because the 12th house is, doing the nasty. But also spirituality. Fate and divinity actually might be kind of giving you a surprise when it comes to your lovey stuff. And if you're currently with somebody, you might actually feel like, wait a minute, I think we're getting a little bit more serious and more committed to one another. I think we're going on to the next phase of our life together, which kind of also does hint at this. But make sure, any kind of doubt and BS is trickery, and always completely understand that it can't really mess with you if you already know the trick and you know how to be all like, oh, look at you try and bamboozle me. Piss it, fake. Because just like how Leo is, there's King Paimon, listen, people, I demand you be enthused that I'm here. Now. If you're not enthused, I'm going to break your hips. I'm dead serious. Now celebrate and clap your hands and do backflips. I'm serious. And it is recommended too to take the situation from going having to need to be all sneaky or being intimidated by something. Transform it into instead something that's going to move your love life forward. And also be a little bit more happy and a little bit more cheery. Because on the axis of air and water, you have a lot of things indicating things moving forward and moving quick, while in the earth and fire you have one being silent and another one being intimidated. So take from these two, the air and water element, and then combine those two. Don't combine these two, because if you combine those two, you'll probably get something that you're not going to want. Oh, fine, screw it. Looks like Leo is going to be getting a little bit of an extra 2-card pull. I'm just going with it. So what happens if we merge together the Wheel of Fate and the Eight of Wands? What on earth are we going to get with this? Oh, 1 card, please. The Star. Looks like somebody's getting a wish fulfilled and a wish granted. Looks like that's going to be what happens when you mix the 8 of Twigs and the Wheel of Fate together. So I think that's probably the best one to go. Now what happens if we decide, for whatever reason, to merge the High Priestess and the 9 of Swords? I'm even wondering why I'm even doing this one, because I think the obvious choice is already there. Oh, it's the He Who Font. If you merge the High Priestess, if you merge your Earth sector this month with your obstacle or motivating force, you're going to get the He Who font. Not that there's anything wrong with the He Who font, it's just that the He Who font I don't like that much. Because he's a teacher, he's a guide, but the way he teaches is by intimidating you, saying if you don't believe what I am teaching, boy, you're going to go to hell, and you're going to burn. And that's not really how you teach people. You don't teach by intimidating. But also, because it's a Pope figure, the Pope figure likes being noticed. But as a guru figure as well, because that's what a religious person is, and a pastor, when a guru is like, look at me and listen to what I have to say, notice me, they're no longer a guru. You know why? Because guru comes from those they teach instead. And also Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn, which pretty much is this card, a Capricorn card in my opinion. Jupiter gets very agitated because the one that speaks on behalf of the divine, he has to speak with some self-control. Just like the same comparison that I say all the time. If you go down south and how when they have when the black people have their church sermons and how they really get into it, that's like going down there and telling them, guys, you're going to have to pipe it down. You're going to mess up because they're going to look at you and say, oh, just bless your heart, honey. May the Lord just give you so much grace that you just fall over. Yeah, that's not going to work. Because when one is speaking of divinity and praising divinity, you can't restrict that. You can't organize it. You can't bring structure to it because divinity doesn't have a structure to it. So, if you bring the High Priestess and the Nine of Swords together, which is kind of funny because if you have the High Priestess being so reliant on intuition, and then you afflict her with the Nine of Swords, which is a card of intimidation and sleepless nights and being terrorized, oh look, it kind of does make the He Who Found a Way. And God said to stick it. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. But what I would definitely consider is just stick with... Yeah, how funny. There's sticks in this picture. Just stick with merging together what fate is going to be giving you in your lovely, cheesy, woozy-woo life. And also the compliments that you receive. Just remember, like King Paimon, you're more than definitely worthy of it. And you can command it to be like, look, I'm going to need this, please, now. I'm a king. There's the crown on me head. Now, come on, Cupcake. You better dance for the king. If you don't, well, you're going to get a good love tap to, get yourself into it. That just sounded weird. But anyway... Oh, look who it is. Now everybody's coming in exactly when the reading's done. Because this was Leo's, and I'm going to be doing Virgo next. Actually, I love the sign of Virgo, because Virgo is the sign that is the one that's not afraid to, take off the hair and just start whacking stuff. And starting to make the impurities go and piss it. So, in like the next 2 seconds, I'm going to be having the Virgo one up. So, I guess I'll see you guys in the Virgo one like the next few seconds. So, stay around.